Well, would you look at the time? It's Alliance War time once again. This time it is War 5 and we're up against LVT, the Living Tribunal, one of the best war alliances of all time. And we have a big war. Originally, I didn't have a super big war when this war was getting planned. But then I decided I liked Silk for one of my later fights. And then everything just kind of fell into place, and somehow I ended up with an 8-fighter. So, we're on path 2 first. With this werewolf against Silk. A pretty nothing fight as long as I don't get placebos on me. I just do medium, light, heavy, and just kind of own them. Boom. I avoid the special one. And I just go for the kill here. Even if I don't, I can try for a stand-up. And I get it. Easy fight, less than a minute. And now we're gonna get to one of the fights that almost got me. The closest I got to death in this war is Bastion on node 11 with Silk. I could have done this fight with Gallon. I could have done it not really with Mantis. It was either Silk or Gallon for this fight. I liked Silk a little more. I don't really know why. It's just this happens, and then I decide that I can punish it even while rooted. So at this point I'm like, uh-oh, the fight has just started and I'm already at half health. That's not, and then I get rooted, but then break out of it with my special 2. But the special 2 honestly bounces off because I don't have my Furies. I go for a relic. And I just go for a special 1 just to make sure the root stays off of me. And now I'm winning the health race. And I bait the special 2. Very, very easy decks. I prefer to bait to stick to special 2s just because it's an easier dex. I get rooted again. He throws the special 1 again. You saw the unfazed trigger. It doesn't matter at all in this fight. I just want to make sure I don't get rooted. That's the problem. I dex is heavy, and I get a heavy counter on it into a special 2. That almost kills. Like, come on, man, just give it to me. And I just combo him and he's dead. Man, that was a close one for a Bastion. Bastion just kind of claims souls. I really don't know how he does it, but it just feels like every war he claims another soul on defense. So anyway, we're on to path 6 now. We're up against the Solvark, and we're going to be using Gallon. Or as my friends and me call him, Big G. One of the 3 Big Gs. Basically, the node here is Fisticuffs, and my goal is to just kind of wait out Fisticuffs and then launch a big-ass harvest. I threw on a combat regen because I don't know. So Solvark, he's going to gain a lot of armors. If I'm being completely real, I don't know how he gains armors. I've read... I think it has something to do with when he switches to the blue mode. I don't know. I've read his kit like 5 times at this point. And it doesn't explicitly say he gains armors. He just gains armors. I activate Harvest... and I counterpunch. And fun fact, I think this is actually my first time in a long time actually using a tactic champ. Like I have the special decks on lock pretty much. And now I'm at 610 mass. Again, I don't know how. Like he just gains so much. He gains so much mass against Solvark. Now this 830 is gonna kill with ease. Thanks, Gallon. So up next we have this Immortal Abomination on node 33, which is Conflictor, Prowess Puncture, Combat Deja Vu Prowess. And we're going to be going in with Mantis. And the goal here is to keep the Trank up the whole fight, which is pretty consistent with most Science Defenders in war when you're using Mantis. You just want to keep the Trank up to stop their annoying debuffs. But it works on both sides for I-Bomb because, as you'll see, Mantis can Trank I-Bomb self-poisons. And that's how I'm planning on gaining my mixed emotions in this fight. Just baiting special ones and letting the 5 failed poisons just fuel me. He throws a special 2, and that nukes the shit out of my block. I remember doing the fight, looking at that, and just being utterly horrified at how much damage that did. So I'm gonna charge heavy. I want to get out of here. Of course, like one of the few hits in this whole fight that I don't have the Trank up for. He puts the poison on me. Come on, man. How unlucky can you be? And I just go for that. I want to get out of here. I don't want him to throw another special 2. So now, this was the fight that I swapped Silken for, because the original assignment was to use Mantis with Odin's, but coming off of last war, I was a little nervous about the Mantis versus Nefaria matchup, especially with Nefaria being able to go into Ionic by himself. That scared me a little, so I decided I would go with what I knew worked, which is Silk with a Power Start 1, and the plan is to just build to Special 3 and nuke him. That's the goal. Nefaria's never gonna, ideally he's never gonna capture Rich Get Richer, because I'm just gonna try and just not let him throw a special. Of course it fails, because the AI throws a special into the hard block. Like, come on, man. I get the special 3 and the fight's over. The fight's over and Nefaria just doesn't know it yet. I go for medium, light, medium. I think I could have gotten parried there, actually, which would have been really bad. But we'll never know. I throw the special 2 and he's dead. Terrible crit RNG, by the way. So up next, we have a Deathless Thanos on node 40 that I'm going to be using Silk for. This was originally a Hood fight, but the person that was using Hood felt uncomfortable about using Hood for, I think it was node 9 Future Ant-Man. So he decided he would bring someone else for Fant, and then I would just take Thanos with Silk. And we'll see how it goes. The goal here is I'm not even gonna go for special 3s and all that, because I just don't want it to get eaten by protection. I'm just gonna play it safe. I can't take damage from Soul Barb because Silk has no native buffs. I missed the Dex, actually, and my Silk Sense bails me out. So praise to the Silk Sense. He's at first protection about 30 seconds into the fight. And as you see, I have the Soul Barb on me, but it's not doing anything. Because again, Silk has no buffs for it to punch. I throw a special 2, it takes him to the next protection. This is a very safe fight. I throw a special 2 or a special 1. That knocks him into the last protection. Again, just a minute into the fight. Or just about a minute into the fight. He evades me. Bastard. But I know from this point I'm good to go. I'm not losing this fight. And dare I say it's been going flawlessly. He's trying to throw specials, but I just don't care. He's gonna throw another special one, and I'm just gonna go for a heavy into special 2 and kill him. Probably could have been faster if I didn't stall on the special 2, but again, I sold the fight, so I'm happy. So up next we have this Spider Woman on node 44. And we're going to be using, you guessed it, Mantis, the GOAT, the greatest champ ever. The plan here is very similar to what goes on node 29, except I don't need Odins for this fight. What I want to do, I'm going to throw on the big power backs because the rest of my fights are Mantis fights. So I'm just going to go in with power backs. The change to power backs actually did help Mantis, because the problem with the old power backs is that she would shoot up to a special 3, and that wouldn't really do much damage. Anyway, the goal here, keep the Trank up the whole fight. And we're going to tranquilize not just Jess's personal debilitates and the ensnare / fumble, but also the hazard shift debuffs. The poison and rupture from the node. I build some more emotions. I go for my first heavy. And on mini bosses, it's about 2 special 2. It takes about 2 special 2s. And of course, again, look at that. Of course, but the 2 hits that are not tranked I get poisoned. Anyway, now I just go for another special 2. I learned from my mistakes last war, and I'm not even gonna try and greed if I know I'm not at 20 mixed emotions. So yeah, as I was saying, it takes about 2 Mantis special 2s at a rank 3 when punching up against these rank 4 science defenders on these max boosts. The plan for this Photon is the exact same thing. We're just gonna get to 20 mixed emotions and just kill her in 2 special 2s. This goes almost better than the Just fight, because since this Photon is Sig 200, there's a very high chance that Photon would place an energy vulnerability on me. But I tranked that. I tranked them all, and I can just kind of get my mixed emotions just by doing 5-hit combos. My goal here is to just watch for the unstoppable. I go for my first special 2 at 20 mixed emotions, and boom. I want to try and weave some intercepts in, just so I can keep the Furies down. Also, another neat thing about this fight is that one of the threats is that when debuffs expire, it puts the approaching falter timer on me, but I can trank that. So now the fight's basically over. I just want to get the unstoppable on me, and I'm just going to charge my heavy into a special 2, and it's going to wipe Photon off the face of the planet. Yeah, Mantis is great. As of right now, I think we're losing the war. Haven't checked score. I'll see you on the next war. Bye.